Hey everyone, what's going on? It is Nathan here and welcome back to the best of 21 series between the Viper and Jordan 23. The score is currently 4-3 to Jordan, I think, and this is going to be game 8. And this is going to be a lovely Arabia-Chinese war, and that's quite an interesting matchup we've got there, because Arabia, Chinese, they don't really go all that well, to be honest. I feel like the Chinese aren't really such a great rushing civ, unlike the Huns or the Mongols or stuff like that. But this should be a pretty darn cool game, because the Chinese are a fairly versatile civilization. They don't have the best of everything, but they do some things pretty damn well. And we have got Jordan 23 here today playing as the Chinese in grey up to the very north of the map, and down to the south in the very difficult to see yellow we do have the Viper playing as the Chinese as well. And this should be a pretty darn cool game. Now the Chinese, definitely one of my favourite civs actually. Not my most favourite civ, I do like the Spanish, they are my favourite, but the Chinese are pretty damn high up on my ranking, and one reason for that is because of their absolutely epic unique unit. The Chuko No is just absolutely awesome. I always say, what can you do when they come for you? Chuko No, what you gonna do when they come for you? And yeah, they're just so powerful, my god. They're just one of the best archers against any other infantry or cavalry units. They just have such a high damage output, and that's just so great against knights and stuff like that. And well, let's look at these guys' maps. Jordan 23's map is looking, to be honest, it's not so great, to be honest. But even so, this is going to be Arabia, and of course, in Arabia, you don't really expect to get absolutely great maps. Although I think Jordan 23 could actually try wall across this, the front fairly well. He does have this forward gold, but then again, he does have a forward secondary gold as well, so that's not going to be so great for him. I suppose he can wall off this this section down here fairly well, but as for the front, it's never going to be so ideal. Well, it's going to be better than Viper's actually, I think. Viper has got a pretty darn terrible map actually. His forward wood is pretty darn far away from his TC. He could try to wall this, but it's going to be really far away. It's pretty much in the middle of the map, so I don't think he'll try to wall that up anytime soon. And as for this gold, well, where is this gold? Actually, can't even see it. It's just so hard to see. There we go. Not going to be so great, to be honest. But you know, this is Arabia. Arabia is a map which just makes people play aggressively, okay? You just can't play passively, you just can't go for a fast castle. It is just too risky for that, just because of the sheer openness of the entire map. You just don't have enough shelter. It's just really open, there's lots of hills everywhere, so it's going to be pretty hard to ward very effectively. And as for this really sparse wood everywhere, it's really hard to actually ward, and there's just so much openness in everywhere as well. And the hills just make it really awkward and difficult to try and ward across, especially when there's hills right in the middle, and of course you are like starting in the middle of a valley. So if you do get harassed, then it's going to be bad, because you do have to attack uphill, which is never an ideal thing to do. But hopefully this will be a great game. Now the Chinese, in the feederweight, the Chinese probably going to be most likely to go with archers, although they can go with scouts because the cavalry are actually pretty good actually, since they are an archer civilization. They do have pretty good cavalry, obviously with bloodlines available, and of course you do get fully upgraded knights in the castle wage. That's going to be pretty good for them, and we may see that just with a couple of crossbows as well, just to help out. I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen, but this may be what's going to happen. And Jordan now adding in a 5th villager onto berries, which is kind of interesting. Not entirely sure why he's doing that. Usually you would go for the 4th, well just 4, but 5th for Jordan. That's kind of interesting. I may suggest that he might go for scouts, but it's not entirely sure, because obviously right now he doesn't actually. Well, we don't really know for sure for the time being, because there isn't actually enough to there isn't enough evidence to support that theory. And yeah, but both these guys are going to go up to the feeder wedge in just a bit. neither guy is going to go for a fast castle. You'd be mad to do that. And of course, drushing is definitely not going to be an option. Number one, it's pretty much past that time. And number two, you just don't see drushes from a Chinese player. It's just not... it's just not the way to go, just because that you don't have the food available. Although you do start with more villagers, you just have to get the food in just to produce villagers in the first place, and so you don't actually get enough food to actually make any militia, because you have to get the food to make those villages. And now both these guys clicking up at a reasonable time. Jordan23 clicking up just a little bit further before Viper, which is going to be good for him. And well, that's what it's going to do. Looks like he will be going to transition into archers, it seems. He is managing to get more guys onto wood, and it's going to be a matter of time before he starts pushing up a mining camp right here on this wood, on this gold even. And well, Viper now going to click up as well. Well, he has clicked up, and he's going to be putting up an archery range fairly soon as well. I think an archery range would be a good idea, but I think scouts could actually work as well, judging by the sheer openness of this entire map. It would be very easy to just go for a very nice scout rush. But both these guys, I think they are going to go for archers. They just don't really have enough food, I think. They don't really have that food to go for archers, for scouts. Although it does seem like they do actually, now that I've said that, because Jordan has got quite a lot of guys. Oh, got quite a lot of food actually right here. But if he is going to go for scouts, then he will need a lot more farms, and that's something which he should probably be able to get in a reasonable amount of time. Looks like he will actually go for scouts, because he isn't actually getting any gold at all. In fact, neither guy is going to go for any gold, it seems. Both these guys probably going to go for scouts right here. And there we go, stable coming up from the Viper. And Jordan23 probably going to put up a stable right here as well once he gets a bit more, just 2 more wood. My god, there we go. Yes, come on. Nice, stable. And I think that's actually a good, really good, that's a really good idea to get scouts out, because, you know, you do want to get that really fast rush. Scouts do have the mobility, and of course, on Arabia, especially when there's just such a vast openness amount of space, it's going to be really easy for scouts to maneuver around a micro, because it's not really, there's lots of space for your scouts to micro around to avoid the spears. And well, when you see with the scouting, it does look like they have scouted a very, very open area here, which is going to be really easy for scouts to come and go. And then same for Viper, he has seen this really nice area right here as well. And so scouts are definitely going to be the way to go actually. I was definitely wrong to say that archers were the way to go. But there we go, scouts going to be a pretty darn good unit to go with here. And we may see a transition into knights, or we will see a transition into archers in the late feudal age, and then possibly going to go with crossbow after that. But this should be a pretty interesting game actually. Yeah, the Chinese, really interesting civilization actually. Also, you should actually go for blacksmith upgrades as soon as possible with the Chinese, because you do get blacksmith upgrades and actually all the other upgrades 10% cheap or something like that. And that's pretty good actually. All the upgrades are cheaper. That's just a really nice tech to have. And right now, neither of these guys actually trying to fight, actually, it seems, but they will do that soon. But then again, Jordan is actually he's actually going to be walling up fairly, well, quite a lot actually. He has pretty much completely walled his entire side actually. Yeah, he has actually walled this completely right here. That's very, very nice indeed. And of course, it is kind of dangerous to get lots of scouts out, which is what Viper is doing, and he has got these 5 scouts right here. And as for Jordan has got the 4 scouts, and of course, if you just invest into scouts, then you will have a very bad cost each time, because scouts do cost a lot of food, and of course, you don't want to get to the castle age in a very bad time. And well, Jordan is coming in around the back right here. He might go for the deer right here, but going to be tough because there are 2 spears right here just defending, and of course 2 spears going to be able to defend very, very easy indeed. And of course, I think Viper could actually try to just focus this down a spear, and it's very low indeed, and so low. He could try to just micro it and snipe it off, but Jordan is just skirting around the edges, it seems, and well, right now Viper does seem to be going towards Jordan's base, only going to be finding out that Jordan is completely walled, and Viper now going to try and wall himself as well, and put him in archer range right here, just so that he can transition into archers once he gets enough gold income, and that's something which Jordan does have right now. So this should be a pretty darn cool game, and both these guys now probably going to go up to the castle age as well, actually, because they do have a lot of resource piling up, and wow, look at this, Viper just cannot get through this. He could try to just focus down on this passage wall, but it will be pretty close, and Jordan has put up a outpost right here, so looks like he wants to get he wants to get that map visibility, and there we go, Viper not having a lot of luck trying to get in here because, well, it's walled up. He is completely walled up right here, which is really nice for him to do. Of course, that is going to be able to slow your opponent's cast wage time down, especially if they're still investing into scouts. And Jordan, oh my god, how did Jordan get it through here? That was pure class. I mean, look at that, he didn't actually lose any HP when he went through there, I don't think. But there we go, 1 villager gone down already, and he might even get a couple more, but these spears can come in here. But of course, he will lose a couple more villagers right here. 2 villagers, 3 villagers, oh my god, gone down right here. Very, very nice play indeed, and only losing 1 scout it seems. And although these scouts are fairly low, they do seem to have done quite a bit of damage actually, and they will be able to do a bit more, right, it seems. But then again, Jordan now getting a bit trapped there, so he will try to just do whatever damage he can before he loses these scouts, and he will try to do some damage as soon as possible, because Viper now bringing his own scouts in to try and take down whatever Jordan has left, and I feel like Jordan should actually have tried to focus down that villager sooner or later, because now he's just, these scouts are kind of useless because, well, they're just useless now. Very low on health, there are only 2 of them left, and he's been chased down by 5 scouts. But Jordan now clicking up to the castle age, he's already on 42%, Viper only just clicking up right there, so Jordan does have a huge advantage right there, and looks like he will be transitioning into those lovely crossbows. Very, very nice thing to do indeed, and I'll be curious to see what Viper's going to be able to do. Both these guys don't have any cavalry upgrades, so they weren't really heavy investing into scouts at that point. Both these guys are going to go heavy into archers now, and well, I don't know if fletching is done for either of these guys, because they both have their archers inside their the archer ranges, so I can't actually see what upgrades they do have. At the moment. But what I can say is that now they do have fletching. Jordan has fletching right now, and Viper, well, I can't say for now, but looks like he will get fletching very soon, or in fact he probably wait a minute. He probably actually has fletching, judging by the fact that his blacksmith is already up here, and that is going to be good for him. As Jordan clicks up to the cast wage, he's going to be able to produce lots of crossbows. As you can see here, crossbow is being doing that 41% right here, and he's going to push out with these archers. And let's see what damage he can do with these guys. Should be pretty darn interesting, and I suppose that Viper will be trying to defend with archers of his own, and possibly be able to get him out of Mangana once he gets to the castle age, which should be in a bit, and he will be adding in a second town centre and third town centre once he gets up. But Jordan now getting up his second town centre as we speak, and a third one on the right as well, and this should be great for him. He does seem to be pretty good in his research times, in his aging times actually, which is really nice indeed. And crossbow is done, so he's going to be able to destroy these scouts right here. Viper just hasn't done the damage at all. He's just overinvested in these scouts, and they have just been picked off so easily indeed. And Viper is going to be in a bit of trouble. He could actually try, Jordan could actually try to just go on this cliff and just snipe down. He probably will be able to do that actually. He does have blocking arrow down as well, so he looks like he will be able to try and get through here. I don't think he actually sees it actually. Well, he knows that there's a town centre coming up, so he could actually try to move these guys down here maybe and try to pick off this villager. But of course Viper is coming around here. He is going to be able to actually get that damage reduction. Jordan is actually, because he's actually fighting uphill, so he will be take less damage. But Viper microing very nice indeed, picking off two crossbows for the price of one. That's very nice indeed. And well, it's saying something about Viper's micro. It's saying that his micro is pretty darn good actually. And both these guys, I think Viper should actually try to get out of there, because that's pretty much a death trap, even though his micro is very strong indeed. And well, I don't know what's going to happen right here, because Viper needs to get out of here and get into the open. He does not want to just lose all these crossbows at the bottom of this cliff. That would just be really bad indeed. But over to the middle of the map pretty much. Viper chasing down Jordan right here, but Jordan now lose quite a few crossbows actually to these crossbows of the Viper, especially with that scout in the fray, which did kind of act like a meat shield, which was pretty good indeed actually. They did a bit of damage, or they did actually act as a meat shield, a tank, to just try to absorb the arrow fire of the crossbows. And of course, scouts are pretty good for that. They do have that 2-piece arm, which is going to be really nice against a fully upgraded crossbow, cartridge crossbow. And so these crossbowmen were only going to be able to do 5 damage each. So they were pretty effective to a certain degree, I suppose. But Jordan now with 3 town centres up and running. Viper now also the same, but of course his town centres were later than Jordan's, just because he just clicked up a bit later. But then I suppose that Jordan will be going for a castle. It seems he is getting a bit of stone right here. Where's the stone mine actually? I can't actually see it. There we go, stone mine right here. He will be making a castle very soon, which means that Chukune will be out very, very soon indeed. And the Viper does look like he will be getting some in right now as well. He does seem to be getting those stone, which is going to be really important, because the Chukunu are pretty much the go-to-go unit for the Chinese. They're just so powerful, and my god, pretty much nothing can destroy Chukunu apart from siege oranges, I think. Or maybe Mangadai. It's going to be close actually, but this should be a pretty darn good, cool game. Obviously the Chinese are already a civilization which we see all that often actually, so this should be a pretty cool, interesting, especially in the post-imperial age, where all the civilizations are pretty much different, and there are some civilizations which are just so unique compared to others right here, and the Chinese are one of them actually, because they are fairly different. And the Chukunu gonna be the go-to-go unit, as I said earlier. So it will be interesting to see where these guys put their castles, whether these guys will put up a forward castle or a defensive castle. It will be pretty interesting. And of course, I think right now, neither of these guys really have any firm map control. Of course, both these guys do have their crossbows out in the front, in the no man's land. But there we go, siege workshop on the front right there. Could be denied right here by Viper if Viper sees it, and which he has, and he could try to go and snipe off this villager. But at the moment, he's just focusing down this siege workshop, which is kind of a mistake, because now Jordan is coming in right here on this hill, and he could do some damage via right here on this hill. And well, it's going to be close right here, because Jordan is chasing down Viper, but then again, Viper microing pretty well. He has managed to dodge all of those guys right here, arrows, but then again, Viper might be getting sandwiched, because Viper's Jordan's got his guys right here, he's got his guys right here as well, and well, Viper actually didn't lose any crossbows at all, which is very nice indeed. But when the siege workshop goes up, Jordan will be making those all-important mangonels, and mangonel is going to be able to deal with these pesky crossbows very nicely indeed. But Viper now getting sandwich right here, he will be able to lose so many crossbows, and he's just lost his entire iron net right there. My god, wow. That, my friends, is the power of flanking your opponent. You just can't deal with facing two armies on opposite sides. You just can't really win a two-front war. It's just not possible. And there we go, castle on the front right there. That is a beautiful position. It's right on this hill. It's really nice indeed. And of course it is, I would say it's kind of a frontish castle. It's kind of protecting his base, the entrance of his base. But of course that's still going to be great for him. And he will be able to make those all-important Chukonu right here. Chukonu, there we go. And he has clicked up to the Imperial Age. Viper now, well, he's very far behind in terms of the resource. And, you know, in all of these games, Jordan has been clicking up to the Imperial Age in a very quick time indeed, actually. Certainly faster than the Viper, actually, which is really good for him. And it does mean that he will be push his technological advantage to the limit. And, of course, since you're playing as the Chinese, the technologies are, of course, going to be cheaper. So you will be able to make, you will be able to afford lots of them. And that's going to be really nice indeed. Any technological advantage for the Chinese will be magnified right here. I would say that. And Viper losing out on these wrecks as well, actually. And Jordan, how many wrecks does he have right here? Well, at the moment he will be able to get one for now, but there's a wreck right here which is completely missed right here. And kind of interesting, because that's pretty much the nearest relic for him. I don't know where he's going with this. Oh, I see. Yeah, my bad actually, because, you know, if you have a relic really close by to your own base, it's going to be really hard for your opponent to try and take that relic. So you might as well take the first relic away from you. It's like taking ball. You want to take the furthest away ball. You want to take the ball on the front rather than the ball on the back, so that you don't actually get your ball stolen. And it's kind of the same with the relics. And Jordan will be able to secure his relics very easy indeed. And Viper now with his own castle right here on the front. And it's going to be a nice Chukonu war right here, which should be really cool to watch indeed. Another forward castle right here on the hill for Jordan. That's a pretty damn forward position actually. It's very nice indeed. He will be able to... Wow, okay. And Viper now saying GG just as Jordan reached the Imperial Age. Pretty abrupt actually. I wasn't expecting that, but my god. I don't think Viper... Yeah, I think when Viper saw that Jordan went to the Imperial Age, he just thought, no, I just can't deal with the Imperial Age Jordan 23. That is not going to happen. So there we go. My god, Viper resigned that one pretty quickly actually. I was actually expecting a bit more. I would have loved a lovely Chukonu fight to spectate, but even so, Viper, I don't think Viper could have actually held Jordan's onslaught off, because Jordan does seem to have a much bigger economy, a much larger technological advantage, a much larger military. Yeah, he does. He has 27 range units, and Jordan also has a pretty huge score lead. And yeah, I think Viper resigned because he just knew he couldn't deal with that. And there we go. That was a game made going towards Jordan 23. The score now is currently 5-3 to Jordan, and well, Jordan 23 taking a bit of a lead now, and I'll see you guys in Game 9. But for now, I'm Nathan, and I'm out.